Thank you, David.
All right,
So
you're on.
as you're traveling around, Douglas, you're hearing the superintendents that are worn out and not coming back. Is that what you were saying?
Well, not the superintendents, but the parents. The
Oh.
parents and the students. No, now don't get me wrong. To your point, you guys are, double, triple, quadruple booked. And, and these are some of the fires that you're having to like step away from, these type of meetings to go take care of. Is, having to deal with, retention, keeping our students and families, within the school district. To Daniel's point, where are these students? And full transparency, PED has contracted with Engage New Mexico for us to help support 28,000. So, Dr. Mizell, I don't know if you were including looking at the charter school data as well. But when you couple in the LEAs with the charters, we're looking at about 28,000 dropouts.
Oh my goodness.
Or students that are completely just disengaged right now with online learning. That's where our cap is right now. So, what I want to share today is kind of, looking at, what is the next step in trying to support these students. The students who currently right now, remote learning is not working for them. And especially, what has Graduation Alliance been doing over the last decade and a half to support high school dropouts, and what I'm coming to share with you today to further support you in supporting these students who we can't find or who are completely just disengaged in school. Now, part of the program, our dropout recovery program, there's 4 key, criteria points I want to share. And Daniel, Dr. Mizell, at any time, Mike, feel free to, ask any questions or chime in. We got a small group here, so it's absolutely fine. I've got more than enough time, but I'll cover it so we can, if there is questions, we can discuss that more. But this program is for students who can't or won't attend the traditional school offerings alternative programs. So that's the subgroup that we're talking about right now, the students who we say who can't or won't attend school. This is a cost neutral program, which I'm going to touch on at the end, but this means no upfront costs, and we get paid for students showing monthly academic progress. So if a student is not showing positive progress towards credit completion, then we don't get paid. So we're paid for students showing results here. And these are the students who can or won't attend school. And this is a credit-bearing program for a high school diploma. So this is not credit recovery or even a GED program, but this is actual high school diploma. So original credit program. And then this program is designed to be an extension of what the school district is currently offering to students and families. So this is not an alternative school provider coming in. This is a district-led program that is turnkey by Graduation Alliance. So we're just an extension of what the district is offering to students and families who reach this tier of needing support where our traditional and alternative programs aren't working for them. So the program sounds great, right? So how does it work? And now that we're all in remote learning, and because I work closely with your staffs, I know exactly, or at least I have some insights of how online is learning. So what I'm really going to try to do is touch on what Graduation Alliance is further offering, or is offering more, or how we're doing our online learning. And if you think, as I'm speaking, as students fit this model, or you think students who would be good for this type of program, let's actually follow up and discuss that. But first, I want to speak to the engagement. Just like in Engage New Mexico, we go out and we find the students. So if you send us a list of 200 students or 40 students that we can't get a hold of, that we've been trying to all year, we're going to go out and we're going to find them. And just like we're finding them in Engage New Mexico, we're using social media, we're using text, we're using phone. We have bilingual engagement coordinators that are reaching out as well. Also, we have BIE coordinators that are reaching out as well to our American Native American families. So we are culturally relatively linguistic in that nature. And once we find the students, this is what we're doing with the students. We have 2 main goals here. One, we want to get them on the phone, and we want to understand what is in the way of them coming back to school, right? So we want to try to get them to either re-enroll back into the school district, or B, we want them to enroll into the Graduation Alliance Dropout Recovery Program that is being provided by the district. So we're calling as an extension of the district to either try to have them re-enroll back into the traditional school alternative offerings that the district is providing, or try to have them enroll into our Dropout Recovery Program to receive their high school diploma. in this model that I'm about to share more with you. So once we have that conversation with the student, what we're providing in our high school dropout recovery program is first a asynchronous curriculum. But we know an asynchronous curriculum alone is not enough. We're already talking about our students who have dropped out and who have a job now during the day. So they can't, asynchronous, a synchronous class that's live is not going to work for them. So maybe asynchronous is a little bit better, but on top of that asynchronous curriculum, we have a teacher-led curriculum. So meaning that the teacher is proactive and reactive to everything that the student is doing when it comes to touching this asynchronous curriculum. The teacher is leading it. And then we layer on an academic coach. So very similar to what you see in Engaged New Mexico, we provide an academic coach for compassionate accountability. There to ensure pace and progress for the student. So again, we know some of these students that we're speaking to right now that say that they're going to homeschool, and we know that they're staying with grandma, and we know that that may not be enough. So just understand that in this type of program, we're also going to provide that student with an academic coach to help them stay on pace and progress. And then what we want to do, and then we also layer on 24/7 tutoring support. So the student will always have access to tutoring support any day, any time that they may need it. After that, we layer on social and emotional learning support with a local advocate. Now, prior to COVID, the local advocate meets once a week with the student, usually at a coffee shop, a community center, something that's publicly accessible for students to get to. And then right now during COVID, they're meeting virtually once a week. But we have to ensure that the student has a safe learning environment. If they don't have a safe learning environment, they cannot learn. So we also want to go over and we want to check over how everything's going social and emotional. We do also, as we do in Engaged New Mexico, also provide telehealth support services for mental health services for the student and families. So if the student is in the program and there's family members that are also suffering from mental health issues, they have access to this support as well inside the home. So the telehealth support is also another layer of SEL support that we offer to the student in this program. And then we also layer on technology with 4G internet access and a laptop. So we want to make sure that they have the technology to be successful as well. And then Graduation Alliance's core mission, so over the last decade and a half, we are all about believing that a student's basic level of education is a high school diploma. So we want to see students successful beyond high school by offering them ACE accredited approved post-secondary coursework, meaning that they can receive college credits while they're getting their high school diploma or going for their high school diploma in high school. Because, when we had that first call on that engagement with the engagement coordinator, we were asking them, what are you looking to do in your future? Oh, you want to be a nurse. Well, in order to be a nurse, you have to go get a certification. You have to go get a license. So we want to help them if we can, right? Provide the coursework prior to, so we set them up for success and even being ahead of the curve when it comes to post-secondary work. So we also provide post-secondary opportunities inside of this program. And then lastly, I want to go back and I want to touch on the cost neutral funding piece, right? So this is an approved program through PED. We were awarded a contract through Rec 10. So this is, Rec 10 is the procurement vehicle or agent here. You would be signing the MOU with Rec 10 if you did decide you want to enlist your district in the service. And this is how the cost neutral funding works. We trigger your SEG funding by recruiting into each of your 4 counts. We guarantee, and we can have this in writing however your school board or however your district needs it, we guarantee not to bill more than your 4-quarter allotment. So if you have $50,000 to serve in a school year with your SEG funding, we will serve up to $50,000 and we will cap it at that. But we will notify you and you can make the decision if you want to go above it or not. But that is how we work. We guarantee not to bill more than your 4-quarter allotment. And we only bill monthly if students show academic monthly progress. So if a student is not showing academic monthly progress, you will not be billed, and there will be no need to send anything for state funding that month, because we will not bill you either. Our goal is to get the student to a high school diploma, and we need to understand how to get them back on track. So that is all I have to conclude in terms of the program offering. I'm more than happy to take any questions at this time.
Any questions for Bruce?
What is the amount per student for engagement that you get?
So good question, Dr. Mazel. So if you send me a list of 200 students, we average around 20 to 30 that we'll get. So like off of a cold calling list, like a list that, you haven't had contact with in a while, we would get about 10 to 20 of those students off on the 200 list. If it's a referral list, like these are referrals you're sending over to us, students we've talked to in the last 2 months, or they said that they're not coming back, but we've spoken with them, we do about 80% on those lists.
So what is the amount, the dollar amount?
Oh, okay. The dollar amount is, and I do believe I have it in this PowerPoint. Again, this is going to be cost neutral. So we will work with your district on the funding so that it is cost neutral. But I believe off the top of my head, I want to say it is $550 for under $550 a month for under 14 students. So right here, I'm sorry, I didn't pull it up. So right here, Dr. Mazel, in your tier 4, so $550 for 1 to 14 students in the program, and $500 for 15 to 39. And if you're around that 40 plus students, it's around $450 to $400. And again, we work with you on the cost neutrality for your state funding to make sure that you're triggering that and it's staying cost neutral for you.
Do you have any districts that are participating that I could call?
Great question. We actually have 7 in negotiations right now. The MOU is getting finalized with Vicky over at Rec 10. And once she has that finalized MOU, we have 7 school districts ready to sign up and start in the spring, January.
Who are they?
Springer, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Silver, Clayton, Rantoon, and Lordsburg.
Thank you.
Those are all the questions I have.
Did I answer them clearly, though? Did I answer them good?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mazel. Thank you. You know how it goes, Daniel. You know how it goes with you guys.
Unfortunately, I'm kind of a bottom line superintendent. Just
Well,
because
I'm glad we got this cost neutral for you then. I'm glad this will be cost neutral. So that, like I said, we can have that in writing however you need it for you and your board to be understand that that's clear.
And,
right.
Bruce David here. I have a copy of a presentation already from Graduation Alliance. I believe this is an older one though, because it mainly is talking about Engage New Mexico, which I will share with folks. Could you, what you're presenting here seems like a different presentation. Would you mind sending this over to me for me to share with the superintendents?
I'm doing that right now, David. Yes, not a problem.
Great, thank you. I don't know if you know of the one that I'm referring to is the one that was presented to the RECs.
Yes, that was engaged. That was engaged. That was for
yes.
the
Yes. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll need this one, please, if you don't mind.
Okay.
And then what I'll do is when we post the agenda and some of the resources on our website, I'll just add this as a download at that point. It'll be on our events page.
All right, David, just sent it to you, so you should have it in your inbox momentarily.
All right, thank you. Let me see. Any other questions, comments, feedback?
Is the primary focus on secondary only? Yeah, obviously for high school kids.
Great,
so
yeah, great question. Great question. Yes, it is high school, 9 through 12, or your students who have aged out. Definitely, and also your students who have aged out. Yes. So up to 21 from September 1st, 2020. They were 21 by that time.
So, I mean, we could do a focused effort on seniors that we're really concerned about.
Absolutely. You can have it that focused, or if you want to do a broad net, say, hey, we want the seniors and we want you to focus on all of our students who have aged out as well. But our goal is to find as many students as possible to get them their high school diploma that is eligible.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, if there are no more comments or questions, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and thank you very much, Bruce. I did get the presentation, and I will get it posted post haste.
Thank you all. Many blessings on the rest of the school year. I know it has been a wild one, to say the least, and happy holidays to you all. Thank you again for this opportunity to speak with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Likewise, take care. Be safe.